Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. I wasn't ready.
Oh, I know, I'm just... Would you like to explain where we are? And what
so originally tonight was advertised as a singing Shabbat. In the new calendar of what's going to be happening on Friday nights, it will be a singing Shabbat. But because Rabbi Lev's away, Tina's taking the service, and as you know, most of you know, Tina doesn't have a voice, so it's not a singing Shabbat.
I did have a voice.
But just for those of you who might be coming along, just because it should have been a singing Shabbat, got a little bit of music, but not very much. This piece of music, this Yiddish song, some of you may already be familiar, and the fact that some of you were joining in was fantastic. Way before COVID, we always measure things like Rebecca Riddell had a singing session here with people from all different shuls, and this is one of the songs that she sang at that. And I think we have sung it here once before.
Oh, yeah.
I found it on YouTube, and the version I've got was from COVID time, and it's sort of those, you all remember those times when we were all stuck on Zoom, and we all had Zoom meetings. So this is a Yiddish folk choir, lots of people, and when I play it the second time, you might be able to see the picture.
From Vienna.
And then, well, that's but it's also at the end, I won't go to the end, there's a Jewish Viennese choir, so hence relevant for Tina. So you've got the words right at the top. It can be sung as a round, but I think we'll just go for one more time. Yeah, if we'd have 14, 15 people here, I'd have done it as a round. With one short, sorry, no round. Tina wanted it, I didn't.
Not 15 people.
All right, it was 16 was what we needed. Okay, join in, right at the top.
Wollte ich gelaufen in Gassen, wollte ich geschrien schollen, 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 schollen. Wollte ich gemacht heuer, wollte ich gelaufen in Gassen, wollte ich geschrien schollen, 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 schollen. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. It does go on, but I want to get home tonight. But I do recommend, it's if you put in Volti Kaya into Google, it comes up with various links to it. One of which is Andrea Gardner, I think it's not Andrea Gardner.
Not Adrian Cooper.
Could be.
Adrian Cooper, who's died.
And she
She was the one who
it's lovely to listen to, but I was tempted to play her version tonight, but I think this is fantastic, and there's some wonderful, because everybody's on Zoom, you've got some wonderful women dancing on there, and men dancing. It's just worth a look.
Ethan yesterday recommended the Cockney Yiddish songbook.
What I should also said is, recently Tina did a Yiddish course online, so hence. Enough for me.
Just before we continue, I won't keep saying please stand or whatever. Wherever you feel it's appropriate for you to stand, please do. Please note I shan't be. But I know some people for certain prayers, do like to. But I won't say anything, so just do as you want. And again, just to reiterate what Neil was saying, it's not that I love singing, unfortunately. Various medication put halt to it, so I do sing along in my head, and occasionally some things come out of my mouth. So, but I just love hearing it, and I love being part of it. We will get to candle lighting, and I was wondering if I could ask our esteemed president to light the candles when we get there. Everything is there. I will be with you in a minute. So we're on page 1, and I will read this, and please follow along. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Where is that from?
It's something I was involved in. If you want to know, it's from one of the. It's not the Jewish thing. It'll come to me. The ritual. It's something was found on ritual. If you want, I'll find who actually wrote it. Yeah, but anyway. I gather I'm an absolute hoarder of bits and pieces, and I put them together. This next piece, people who've been to some of my services know that occasionally I drop this in. You don't necessarily have to hold hands, although we've got some couples here. What I do ask you is either mentally reach out or physically reach out, but I find this quite meaningful. So what I'm asking, when I say responsive, you'll see in capitals which bit it would be nice if we all joined in. So when all seems dark and the darkness is harsh, give me your hand. When I cannot see light, even in the brightest day, give me your hand. When you are tired and every breath is heavy, give me your hand. When you are tired, sorry, we've done that one. When the words do not grasp the depth of yearning in my soul, give me your hand. When your feelings are overwhelming or dulled, give me your hand. When I'm confused and don't know what to do, give me your hand, so that we may be together. Give me your hand. And now, Sandra, if I can ask you to light the candles. Thank you. Amen. Thank you. Now we're going to Martin. What? We'll do whichever one you want.
So I wanted to sing the Danny Messing, or just a short version of Danny Messing, and I've completely forgotten the tune anyway. I've been singing it all day. Oh,
don't sing. Okay, and we can go in straight into Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malakei Halam, Malakei Elyon, Mimelech, Malakei Halam, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bohen Shalom, Malakei HaShalom, Malakei Elyon, Mimelech, Malakei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malakei HaShalom, Malakei Elyon, Mimelech, Malakei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Satan Shalom, Malakei HaShalom, Malakei Elyon, Mimelech, Malakei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now we turn to page 3 and over to Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Blessed are you, eternal one, our God, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. Blessed are you, eternal one, whose word makes evening fall. If you turn over to page 4, sorry? Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Turn to page 4. And do help from the start. We'll do the usual. What? Oh, that's up to you. I said I leave it to people. That's Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Mahuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kavod Mahuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'kol nafshecha u'v'kol modecha. V'ha'im ha'davarim ha'ele asher nachi matzavcha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'vetecha v'flechtecha v'derech v'shokbecha uv'chogmecha v'shantam derot al yedecha v'yu letotafot benenecha uv'tamtam al mezuzot betecha uv'isharecha. You shall love the Eternal One, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Let these words which I command you this day be always in your heart. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, When you lie down and when you rise up, bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be like frontlets between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Do sit down if you so far, and we are now into a bit of music. That's okay. It's fine. Page 5.
Hopefully you all know this. Join in.
I'm joining as and when.
Waiting in
The velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the, by Madonna, Mikamoha, Kodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Sefere, Nora Tehilot, O Sefere. Waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, oh, I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the, if we now turn to page 6, I love this, although it hits me right in the solar plexus. This is an alternative Amidah written by Lev, and the first time I heard it, there were a couple of us, we just sort of sat there. There were a couple of things, I think you were there, Hilary, there were a couple of things that we said, oh yes, but, oh, that's hit a note. And I don't think that matters. I think if you're somewhere safe and with friends, it's okay to be hitting the solar plexus. I will start off, and if we just come round, I hope there's something for, just take a line or a pair, whatever's where the breaks are. And just if you haven't seen this one before, just let it resonate with you, because I think he's very special how he gets to the centre of things, and I think it's worth, having it, not every time, but occasionally we use this. So, I breathe through my nose and inhale the miracle of air. I breathe out through my mouth and feel grateful for the incredible unlikelihood of my own existence.
How many generations came before me? How many Jews felt this same wonder? How many human beings stood in awe as I do? How many creatures have existed in the great span of eternity that led me here?
I am lucky. I am loved by an unending love. I am supported by a community. I am protected by my God's gentle hand.
The wind blows, the rain falls, the sun shines, the dew licks the blades of grass. I am a part of this world, and I deserve to take my place within it.
However far I fall, God will lift me. However trapped I feel, God will free me.
Some I loved now sleep in the dust, but their souls are in God's loving embrace. When I die, too, I will be reunited with the everlasting.
This is sacred.
Read the next one, yes.
I am blessed, I get to rest. God rested, and I will rest too.
I do not have to prove my worth. I do not have to always worry and work. I am enough.
I extend love to everyone around me. They are wonderful. How good is our destiny and how beautiful our legacy.
I love the whole world. I can see God's light in everyone. Thank you, God. Thank you for this life. Thank you for being with me at all times.
Show me how to use my life as you intended it. Show me how to be a channel for your goodness into the world.
May my desires match up with the best of what the world needs.
Help me feel at peace. Help me bring peace to others. Help me make peace in your world.
I breathe. I breathe before I speak. Help me to mean every word I say.
Carry on.
Life is worth living. Yes, life is worth living. The best is yet to come. Yes, the best is yet to come.
Jolly. If we just take a few moments in silent prayer. Adonai, Suri, Adonai, Suri, Begawali, Verason, Imrefi, Region Levi, Lefalecha, Adonai, Suri, Adonai, Suri, Begali. Oh, say Shalom bin Ramah, Hurrah, say Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Israel, Ve'akol B'nei Adam, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Israel, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Israel, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Israel, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol B'nei Adam. Okay, and I think Norman has termed this the alternative sermon slot. I think this was your terminology, and I'm using that, Norman. I'm taking your name in vain. And we are having an alternative sermon slot. I've got mine. Thank you very much. See, I do listen. That's a bit deep. That's very deep. So, this is interesting, and I'm sorry to the gentleman if this seems a little bit sort of weighted to women, but it's not. I think it's appropriate for everybody. And I'm going to ask for volunteers to read, actually, because it's quite long, but you can just pass the baton to somebody. Because it's quite long, and I thought we could just have a few moments afterwards, just giving our own thoughts, because it's got quite a lot in here to think about. So would anybody like to kick us off? Or am I going to have to do my school teaching? Was that a hand, Jill? Yeah, brilliant. Off you go.
This is the ritual by Trisha Artin. This is the ritual, bowing during the morning blessings. I used to refuse to bend my knee and bow during morning blessings. Baruch atah, etc. Thank you for, etc. Who was I bowing to? A male king? That's not God. Stop that. But then I thought, what if I bowed anyway? What would that feel like? So I tried it for a month. As an interesting experiment, I bowed deeply for a month. And it was mechanical, pointless. And then one day, kind of without warning, each time I bowed, I found there was a reason. About history and tradition. About because my ancestors bowed. About to everyone who has ever been forced to bow. About because everyone else in the room was bowing. About to my fear of the future. About to my regrets of the past. About because I'm not the centre of the universe. About because I do feel God's presence somehow.
I think we'll carry on, because you're getting the sort of feel of what it, anybody, another volunteer? Yes, Hilary, lovely.
This is the ritual, wearing a tallit. I never wore a tallit. During the Shabbat morning service, when I was little, it's because I was a girl. Girls didn't do that. I sat next to my daddy in the services and played with tallit fringes. But they were his, not mine. Never to be mine. And anyway, why should I? Do I really think God cares when I wear fringes? Do I even believe in the kind of God who would care if I wore a blooming shawl? I don't believe in religious rules. I can wear whatever I want. How dare you tell me how to be true? And anyway, navy blue stripes, so boring. Everybody knows I'm all about the fashion accessories, so stop that. And then I thought, what if I wore a tallit anyway? What would it feel like? So I wore it for a month as an interesting experiment, and it was dramatic and self-aggrandizing. Look at me. And then one day, kind of without warning, each time I put on my tallit, I found there was a reason. I put on my tallit because it was winter and it kept me warm. I put on my tallit to wrap myself in the memory of my father. Sometimes I even wore his. I put on the tallit because I can, and you can't stop me. I put on the tallit because it covered the vanity of whatever I was wearing that day. I put on the tallit because I found one that matched my outfit. I put on the tallit because it draped me in Torah. I put on the tallit because God apparently has a thing for fringes, and who am I to argue? I put on the tallit because women who wear a tallit at the Kotel, the Western Wall, get arrested by the state of Israel.
Still today. Anybody? Yes, I thought Robin. Well, this is right up. This is right up Robin's. Yes.
This is the ritual, wearing a kippah. I sometimes wore a yarmulke when I was young, the flimsy, lacy kind. Stuck it on with a bobby pin, a trivial thing. a girly affectation, stupid. A real kippa was for boys. It fit their short hair, but it flattened my lovely curls. So stuff that. But then I thought, what if I wore a kippa anyway? What would it feel like? So I wore a kippa on my head for a month, as an interesting experiment. Immediately, each time I put on my kippa, I found there was a reason, and it was amazing. I put on my kippa to make a feminist statement. I put on my kippa because it shows respect for the synagogue and the prayer leaders. I put on my kippa to announce to myself that I was entering the shul and I must be mindful. I put on my kippa because I can have a lot of different ones to match my moods and my earrings. I put on my kippa because everything underneath becomes a capsule of kadosh and of holiness. I put on my kippa because it reminds me to connect to God, however I understand God that day.
And anybody else like to finish off?
Is it all right for men?
Yes, of course.
We understand.
Sorry, I was doing my...
These are the rituals. When I thank a being, I don't believe in the old way, except when I do. When I need something bigger than myself, I bow. When I go to services, I need to separate myself from the mundane, but not from my community. I wrap myself in my talent. When I begin another vertical conversation with non-linear, I need to place myself in a kesher connection. I put on my hat of my holy, my kippah. Baruch atah Adonai echad. Bless the one who's given us the ability to make interesting experiments in searching time and space with meaning. Amen.
Any comments or just what do you think? Given we're a liberal community and this...
I saw my more orthodox history past there in a woman's eye, which I've never seen before.
Yeah.
As long as she was there, but I would make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, truth, I mean, it was there. I'd never seen that before. That was really enlightening. Bit late.
Very good. This is a kind of coincidence. I haven't heard this before, but like about 3 days ago, I read a blog by Rabbi Gabriel, otherwise known as my son, who said he's decided to wear his kippah all the time. And he didn't used to, he's always said that actually there isn't a rule for wearing a kippah, it's just a tradition.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the Torah, anything. So, he didn't wear, he wore one when he was taking a service, but other than that, he didn't go around wearing one. But then he said, what happened was after the Manchester attack, so he lives down in Brighton, and then there was an attack on a mosque a couple of days later, Peacehaven. And he said, I needed to go along and express solidarity, because they expressed solidarity with us. And I'm not just going as me, I'm going as the rabbi, so I wear my kippah. And then he was invited to a meeting at a school the next day. And he thought, well, there's just been an anti-Semitic attack, maybe there'll be some teachers or children there who would like to know that I'm Jewish when I come. And then he said, well, it's just gone from there. And he said, it's kind of a reaction to a terrorist attack, that I think people want to see you. You know, you need to show that you are Jewish and that you're not afraid. And also, people who are out there who are Jewish want to see other people in the street.
The declaration of who he is, really. That was, no?
Sorry?
A declaration of who he is.
Yeah.
The CST agree with that? I'm not sure.
Sorry?
I'm not sure the CST would agree with that. I don't know.
It's interesting because when I was at Bromley, we were and this is before, we were in, especially south of the river, we were in quite a quiet period. We had our own security. The police came on the High Holy Days, where that was it. Otherwise, we didn't have CST or anything like that. But we were told not to wear overt Jewish clothing from when we stepped out. And even our rabbi, he always wore a kippah, but he put a hat on, an ordinary sort of like a trilby, and off he went after shul.
Wears his all the time,
yeah. But it's interesting, isn't it, how, you know, here we've got another generation who wants to show solidarity and express who he is. And yet the message is also do not. And we've got people in public roles being told not to wear, you know, nurses told not to wear crosses, Magen Davids, or whatever. So it's this.
But we went out the other day and Sandra was going to wear her basic necklace with a Magen David. So I don't think you should wear it. We're going out too many places.
But I think this is talking about how you identify yourself in shul, you know. But it's interesting because when I came here, I've been in 2 reform shuls before, and it was quite common for women to wear talit. In fact, I was bat mitzvahed in old age, so to speak. You know, I was I don't know what you call it, an older. And I said straight away it's wasted on the youngsters because I had a ball. I thought it was wonderful. But I was told by my teacher that once you wear talit, you always wear talit. You don't just wear it for the high holy days or whatever. Once you have put on talit, which was for my bat mitzvah, you always, you know, when it's Torah service, you always wear. And so coming here, I was sort of a bit of a, like, I've got a talit on. And it was funny because I had a long chat with René, not about that, about when I came here. And I joked, I said, well, I've come here as a bit of a refugee. And he was, and he knew what I had done. And I said, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit and be quiet and hide in my talit and get the comfort from this lovely place that I had been visiting. And he said, Tina, that's fine, just be, just wrap your... And it's sort of implied here, that is one of the things, you know, this sense of security, this sense of...
Changed your mind about hiding though. Changed your mind about hiding though, didn't you?
That's your fault.
Tina hides very non-quiet. But I really sometimes get offended that men don't wear talit on the bima, or even a couple. I think from my growing up, that's what they should.
Well, I think this is.
Make a rule with gentlemen.
I think this is what this is about, isn't it? It's once I was told. I mean, one of the things I was told about wearing a Magen David, you know, and I when I've spoken to I don't do anything about the Holocaust, obviously, with younger children in school visits. I mean, that's just totally inappropriate, and HMD is the place where that happens. But the sort of age group that we get, but they know that this is a Jewish symbol, and yet it doesn't appear in Torah, so it's a sort of an anomaly. And we don't actually know 100% for sure where it came from. I mean, there is a theory that it was Alexander the Great who allowed the Jews of Jerusalem, when he ransacked, that was 3,000 years ago, to have this on their flags. We know that in the king of Czechoslovakia allowed this about 500 years ago. It was a sign, but that they were free. And there is a theory, some Jews say, once we were forced, i.e. during the Holocaust, now we choose. And that is, and there was a move to people wearing Magen. I don't think our parents wore, really, Magen Davids. So I think that it has been more of a, you know, they may have had depictions of it in the house, but I don't think there were so many Jews wearing this. Kippah, yes. Yeah. Oh, the Hamza, yeah.
So this is my, so this question is probably more for Ron and Norman, Phil and Carl. So when you're bar mitzvah, were you given a talit by your parents, and do you still wear that same talit, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And just in there was a bit.
At 13, then I'm growing up.
Because in there was a bit about sort of wearing their father's talit.
Yeah.
I don't know if any.
Well, normally a gentleman would be buried in it.
Yeah, that's going to be my question. Yeah.
Do you know something lovely? Sean in the office. It's the first time I've asked somebody in the office to do some photocopying. Usually, we sort of breaking off our thing. And I said, she was in the office, and I said, would you possibly, if Neil scanned, would you do it? And she said it's all done. And she said she loved this, and she's now thinking of wearing talit. When she goes, now, isn't that interesting that she'd read this and it got her thinking?
Well, I'm amazed. I mean, I found that so enlightening. It really is.
It's a definite experience of mine.
Yeah.
Because when I was little, my parents went to a small Orthodox shul, and I sat next to my father, fiddling his fringes, but it was never, it didn't even enter mind of women or girls. It wasn't an option that one even longed for, it just was. And I hadn't thought of that in, I won't say how many years.
But is that a nice memory, now that it's come to mind?
Well, it's a nice memory for me because I'm very close to my father.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a warm arrangement, but it's interesting in today's modern way of thinking, that didn't enter, and it doesn't enter me as really, it's almost like it in its own package. That was then, and I did that, and I never thought, oh, I want one. Yes. It's weird. It's really put me in a funny position. I never thought of that for a long, long time. Just reading that.
But it's those little things that actually, I mean, this is where it talks about tradition and what and everybody's. I mean, I talk about this when again, going back to the school visit analogy, talking about there's a difference between our laws and our traditions. The laws are laid down. Tradition is something, and we don't quite know always where they come from, and your tradition is different from your tradition, and I think that's the wonderful thing. And her experience was perhaps different even from the girl next door.
So what do you think today's little Orthodox girl would think in that position I was in?
I don't know. I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I was very young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can they when they're very young?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I just thought it was interesting and where we all come from and how we've all sort of merged. And also, I suppose, now that I feel comfortable, as you say, I've overlooked, I do my thing. And I do my thing, and you do your thing, and you do your thing, and I think that's what I feel comfortable with.
Who is Trisha Hardy?
Sorry?
Who is Trisha Hardy?
I don't know.
That's your homework.
That's your homework. That's your homework, Phil. I'm sorry. I'm a bit of a, what do you call it? Like a magpie. I just go around up things. I'm constantly. Yeah. Well, if you saw my study, you'd see I'm in trouble. If I can't have any more books. Anyway. Well, thank you for bearing with me. I just thought it was something to think about, and yeah. Right, can we now go to page 7? Now, I'm going to tell you, apologies to Sandra if you're up there. Sweetheart, I am sort of doing the Eleno. However, I need to tell you a reason why we're going to do the Judy Chicago version. Because what I have in my mind, a dear, dear friend of mine from NWSS who died last year, her parents, I knew her parents before her, from Bromley. And her parents very often took a Friday night service. And there is the tune, with Elena, da 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 da, yeah. And her father was a very he was the president, very no-nonsense. I hate this. it's like a ditty, you know, that you'd see on television, whatever. So every time we do this, da 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 da, da, I have him sitting here going, I don't like this. And consequently, it doesn't grab my soul either when we do so. I do apologise.
We disagree on this one.
What?
Tina's taking the service. No, I'm not allowed to have this tonight.
You do agree. So, this sentiment I absolutely agree with, but it's the way. So, can we together say, can we do the poem tonight? And again, apologies to those of you that would rather. If you don't want to read that, read the Elena to yourself, the normal one to yourself. You know, I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, and then all that has divided us will merge. And then compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a world that is often harsh and unkind. And then both men and women will be gentle. And then both women and men will be strong. And then no person will be subject to another person's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other. And then everywhere will be called Eden once again. And if you turn to page 8, can we do the Misha Bara? Sorry?
Those thoughts seem even more distant and not part of the world we're saying.
I think we all know of at least one person who might benefit from Misha Bara. And just hold whoever in your heart as we do this. I love it, and it does speak to me. And I think, you know, if we can just reach out, be it in our hearts, be it with our voice, be it in our thoughts, you know, it's no bad thing. And as Ron says, we live in troubled times, and we're all, I think, a little bit along the scale of pain in one way or another. So, yeah. Okay, do you want to start us off? Misha Avotenu Makor Abraham Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Imotenu, Makor Abraham Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with Ruach Shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Instead of the normal readings, because I said we didn't need our Siddur, this is a poem that I absolutely love. And I don't know, you may recognise it, I'm sure you will. You may not know the origin. This appeared in a famous film, Carve Her Name with Pride, with Virginia McKenna playing the heroine, Violette Szabo, who was sent to France as an agent and was killed. She was engaged to a Frenchman, so her French was perfect, and she was hand-picked. Leo Marx, I don't know, there's a wonderful book that he wrote, his autobiography, Between Silk and Cyanide, and he was one of our greatest code makers and code breakers. He was turned down by Bletchley because he was not of that ilk, and he worked directly in London under Churchill's own group of spy masters and so on. And primarily, Churchill was very suspicious of de Gaulle and the Free French, de Gaulle running the Free French, and wanted to keep an eye on them. So that's how this started. And Leo Marx, nice Jewish boy, his family ran the famous bookshop, 84 Charing Cross Road. His mother was a typical Yiddish mama, didn't want her precious little baby boy going off to war and getting hurt. So went to the Ministry of Defence, quite high up, and pleaded her case that they shouldn't take her sweet baby boy, and could they find him a nice desk job. In the meantime, Leo Marx, unbeknownst to Mummy, had gone ahead trying to be, because he was very, very clever with coding and decoding and whatever, and spent the rest of the war as this mastermind. You've heard of Turing. Well, Marx is up there with code making, code breaking and code making. And she never knew till the end of the war. And he was also being parachuted behind enemy lines. He also invented the idea of code poems, which were, because what was happening, both the Germans and whatever, and we did that, they'd take a piece of Shakespeare or Schiller, and that would be their code. And of course it was easy to break. So what Marx was saying is, you invent a poem or something. He actually wrote this for his girlfriend, who was one of the ones shipped out to Canada to escape the war. Unfortunately, that plane was shot down. So his girlfriend was killed. And he gave this poem that he'd written for her to Violette Szabo, and this was her code poem. And this would have been written on a piece of silk, and they could, and in fact, my father, who was in the RAF, and I still have it to this day, has a map, and that's what they did that as well. They did things on silk, which could then be scrunched up and hidden very, very well. So this is, sorry, just about, but I'm fascinated by this and this man, and I just thought I love this poem, it speaks to me, and I thought we could just have a look at it and, before we say Kaddish. So, the life that I have is yours. The love that I have of the life that I have is yours and yours and yours. A sleep I shall have, a rest I shall have, yet death will be but a pause. For the peace of my years in the long green grass will be yours and yours and yours. Okay, and we now turn to page 9, and Norman's very kindly going to lead our Kaddish. Sorry? Oh, sorry, yes, before that I have this week's names. I do apologise, I had them already here. And this week we think of Philip Miller, grandfather of Karl Manuel, wish you a long life. Stephen Hellman, father of June Wertheim, and, got the wrong way round, Harry Scheib, father of Karl Scheib. Karl, I do apologise, I had it the other way on my list, and this is from here. And I wish you still a long life, and the other two as well. Okay, thank you very much. No, do. Amen. Amen. Say shalom bimramav. We are say shalom. Alleluia kol Israel. Amen. Thank you. And on a very light note, again, the history of this goes back for us, for Neil and me, to school visits on page 10. it sort of brings together for the youngsters what we've been telling them about blessings on Shabbat. And we do it as a song, and every school we've been into, if we go the following year, the kids say, are we going to sing? We sing Shabbat. And the teachers say it's a real earworm. So
we normally try to do it, but when Tina goes in, often we're only given 20 minutes or so. And you may be surprised that Tina often overruns the 20 minutes.
No, Neil's going.
So we sometimes don't get to sing this, and we have to do a very short version of Maya Fermion. But I think we haven't overrun too much tonight. So we sing
Shabbat. We sing Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We sing Shabbat. We sing Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Hadlik Nesha Shabbat. We bless the sun. We have to point to things. Hadlik Nesha Shabbat. We bless the Sabbath. Chorus. We sing Shabbat. We sing Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We sing Shabbat. We sing Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Borei Peri Hagafen, we bless the Sabbath wine. Borei Peri Hagafen, we bless the Sabbath wine. Chorus, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, bless the Sabbath bread. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, bless the Sabbath bread. We sing Shabbat. We sing Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. We sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Lecha dodi likrat kala, give praise and thanks to God. Lecha dodi likrat kala, give praise and thanks to God. Last time, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. And I haven't got a blessing to hand. All I can say is, may you all be blessed, may you know peace, and may you take your blessings and your peace out into the outside world. And Shabbat Shalom.